Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Andika Aldi Parihan. I'm from Civil Engineering University of Siliwangi. I will presentation and the topic of presentation is elastic and elastoplastic behavior.
Elastic behavior. If a material exhibits true elastic behavior, it must have an instantaneous response deformation to load, and the material must return to its original shape when the load is removed. Many materials, including most metals, exhibit elastic behavior, at least at low stress levels. Young observed that different elastic materials have different proportional constant between stress and strain. In the axial tension test, as the material is elongated, there is a reduction of the cross-section in the lateral direction. The 0.5 volts is for a material that does not change its volume when the load is applied. An elastic material returns to its original shape when the load is removed and reacts instantaneously to change in load. Picture 1 represents a linear elastic behavior, while Picture 2 represents a nonlinear elastic behavior. There are several options for arbitrarily defining the modulus for these materials. Figure 3 shows for option the initial tangent, second, and chord modulus. In the tangent modulus is the slope of the tangent at a point of the stress-strain curve. Modulus to most for a nonlinear material depend of the stress or strain level at which the material typically is used. Also, when determining the tangent second and chord modulus, the stress or strain levels must be defined. Shows typical modulus and Poisson's ratio values for some materials at room temperature. Note that some materials have a range of modulus values rather than a distinct value. Several factors affect the modulus, such as curing level and proportions of components of concrete or the direction of loadings relative to the grain of wood. Elastoplastic behavior. For some materials, as the stress applied on the specimen is increased, the strains will proportionally increase up to a point. After this point, the strains will increase with little additional stress. In this case, the material exhibits linear elastic behavior followed by plastic response. Several models are used to represent the behavior of materials that exhibit both elastic and plastic response. Plastically deformed, it will rebound in a linear elastic manner and will follow a straight line parallel to the elastic portion, while some permanent deformation will remain. So, an elastoplastic response in which the first portion is an elastic response followed by a combined elastic and plastic response. Upon reloading, the material again behaves in a linear elastic manner up to the stress level that was attained in the previous stress cycle. Strain hardening is beneficial in some cases, since it allows more stress to be applied without permanent deformation weakening of the material. Portland cement concrete is a good example for such a material. In the case, plastic deformation causes microcracks at the interface between aggregate and cement facade. Materials that do not undergo plastic deformation prior to failure, such as concrete, are said to be brittle, whereas materials that display appreciable plastic deformation, such as mild steel, are thus duct. When a brittle material fails, the structure can collapse in a catastrophic manner. Figure demonstrates three concepts of the stress-strain behavior of elastoplastic materials. The second point is the elastic limit, which is the transition between elastic and plastic behavior. Rather, there is a gradual, almost imperceptible transition between the behaviors, making it difficult to locate an exact transition point. Polowski and Rifling 2005. The point where this line intersects the stress strain curve is the offset yield stress of the material, as seen in picture. At a specific strain level, intersect the stress strain curve.
Thanks for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.